Alright, good evening, gang. Well, it is good evening. It's about like 7 going to 8. So that's not the point though. What I'm here to do is actually show you how to plan and actually prep up or use the first phase of your lock-in. All right, if you're lock-in challenge, actually how to use the template. All right, the foundational part of the template. And if you don't have the template, you can get it down below in the description. But if you're in the group chat, it's much more easy. I can always just resend it to you guys, or you can always ask someone to send it to you. But if you don't have the template, then you can easily just download it in the description below. So like I said, I'm going to show you how to actually set up or plan or prepare your foundational aspects or the setup of your detox or the lock-in, right? Let's call it the lock-in. So the first phase is basically more of like a detox, right? So this is one from day 1 to day 30, where you're just like trying to break old habits and trying to implement better ones. So let's get right into it. Alright, so like I said before, I'm going to be showing you how to actually set up or plan your great lock-in from the first step or the first phase of it. So sadly, I do not actually have like a whiteboard. I was gonna do this like in class, but like the lighting is pretty bad. It's incredibly bright inside, and I tried adjusting the lighting, but it wasn't good enough. So I tried adjusting the lighting in class, but it was pretty bad. So what I'm going to do now is actually show you how to get it done. Okay, so when it actually comes down to planning your detox or your self-improvement mission in general, right? And so this is just a general, like a generalization of whenever you feel stuck and you want to restart. You feel stuck and you want to restart. Pause, right? Always take time to literally pause and think. All right, pause and think. And the first thing you want to do is ask questions. That's the very, very first thing you want to do. That's the very first thing you want to do. You want to pause and ask questions. Oh, yeah, hold on. All right, so like I was saying, you just want to ask questions, right? Now, why do you want to ask questions, right? That's probably the first thing that's going to be. What's the purpose of me having to ask questions? And what questions do I need to ask? Well, to answer the first one, why or what the purpose is because you want to clear the path that you want to walk down. So when you're doing self-improvement, it's like as if you're walking down the right path. All right, it's like you're walking down the road that no one will take. Trust me, no one will take the path. It's kind of rare to find people take the path of self-improvement because it's painful. It's painful. No one likes being told, or no one likes doing the hard things. It's hard. Not gonna lie to you, it's hard. It's uncomfortable because essentially you're getting out of your comfort zone. You're getting out of your comfort zone and you're getting into an area of discomfort. And essentially, the more you do these discomforting things, these things that will just make you, feel more and more uncomfortable, essentially you'll get comfortable with doing hard things, or you'll be comfortable with the uncomfortable, and sooner or later you'll just get used to it. You'll get used to stuff that just sucks, and your brain will be just wired to the point where, oh, okay, cool, I've got to eat more shit, so oh well, let's just get it done. So essentially that's the type of mentality that I want to actually have. The type of mentality that's literally resilient, or that has the ability to just take anything that comes at them and just, you know, make it happen. You know, make it happen, get it done. That's what we want to do. So the questions, like I said, when you ask them, you want to clear your path. The more your path is clear, when you get rid of all this junk in your path, let me draw it for you. You'll be essentially, no, I'm no artist. Now, this is probably you. You're gonna be taking a path, and just imagine with all this clutter on the road or on this path, you probably got like potholes, you got like all this junk, and it's not easier to actually move around, right? It's not easier for you to move, and it makes it even more harder, right? So what these questions do for you, it one takes out all this, right? And essentially you have this other clear paved road that you can finally you can take, and it makes it much more simpler for you to actually move, you know, because you have a proper direction. You can see where you're going. Over here you can't really see where you're going. All right, so the clearer the path, the easier it is to go down. It's like trying to drive on a road full of potholes. Can you imagine? All right. I'm gonna try not. Now, when defining these questions, the first thing you want to do, right, is ask these questions. Now, your clarity questions. Let's call them clarity questions. Clarity questions. That's the first thing you want to do. Now, the first thing you want to ask, right, and if you look down in the template, you'll see it. There's like the very first thing. It literally says phase 1 foundation, and it literally asks you, what are your 3 main priorities? Okay, your 3 main priorities. First question. 3 priorities. The reason why we ask this is because there's so much you can handle. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, it's a philosophy that I kind of believe in. But I'll get into that just now. I'll get into that. But this part, what are your 3 main priorities? What are the first 3 focus areas that you want to focus on? You know, what is the first thing that you want to focus on? And that's really important here, because if you can establish these things, then it's easier to answer the next few questions, and actually plan out or set up the rest of the system that we're trying to build, so that you stay consistent and disciplined. Because without consistency, oh shit, man, everything's dead. I'm not gonna lie to you, everything's dead. And you won't get the results that you want without consistency. Consistency is a big word. So the only way you can build consistency is by building systems, all right? By building proper systems that will make it effective, make it easier for you to actually accomplish your goal. Okay, so ask yourself, what are the 3 top priorities that I want to focus on? 2. All right, second part. And, I forgot. So your 3 main priorities, they can be, okay, let me just give you examples as well. So these can be, you know, your academics, especially if you're like a student, I know my content's more for like people between the ages of 18 to 25, the youth. So obviously, if you're watching this, then you're probably in varsity or uni, academics, business. Damn, I almost misspelled business. Business. Your physique. Physique is basically a fancy word for like, your body. Probably want a aesthetic body, ladies want to look like a Pepsi bottle or Fanta bottle, and the gents just want the V-shaped look, looking like Toji. And if you don't know who Toji is, man, don't sleep, man. Wake the fuck up, bro. Come on, don't sleep, man. And then probably health. That's like what you want to work on. I mean, like, etc. etc. That's what you want to work on. That's like your main two. Then out of these three, you probably want to look at them. But like I said before, the top three priorities, I'll give them to you, and you'll see how we do it. And plus, I'm going to use myself as an example just to make it more easier. All right, moving on to the second part. The second question you want to ask yourself is, what are your weaknesses? What are your weaknesses? What do I mean by weaknesses? What I mean is, what's actually holding you back from making progress? Ask yourself, what is it actually that is holding me back from becoming the person that I actually want to become? What are the things that is actually assisting you or me? There goes my English. What is actually assisting you in avoiding the person that you want to become? Does that make sense? And this can be many things. It can be, for say, a big one for me is lust. All right, it can be lust. It can be, another big one for all of us is procrastination. It can be lack of focus. Another one can be phone usage. And I could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. But this is just what you can see that actually hinders your progress. This is generally like a full circle of actually what hinders your progress. All right. So you also, when you ask this question, and the reason why you also have to ask this question is because you want to know who is the actual enemy. And the enemy is you. If you were on the group chat, then you know that the first thing I addressed to you guys was to address the enemy, to acknowledge the enemy. And you need to acknowledge yourself. And it's okay, be honest. The moment you're honest with yourself and you tell yourself that shit, I am really losing it here, and here you are, you want to make a change. This is a good first step. Not gonna lie to you, this is a good first step. What you just did right now by joining me and joining us and the rest of the community in the group chat and also watching my content, then you're on the right path, bro. That's a good first step. The next best step you can do is start implementing the strategy, or implementing strategies to actually help you grow. All right, but once you know your enemy, then you know how to tackle the next step. You know how to defeat your enemy. All right, you know how to defeat your enemy, and that's who you're trying to defeat. You need to kill your old self. All right, you need to kill all these bad habits so that you can build the new you. The third question is, what does your daily schedule look like? Okay, over here. Now, what does your daily schedule look like? The reason why I put this one in is because, remember, we're trying to build a setup. We're trying to build a setup for you that will make it actually easier. And we're doing this for 90 days. So we actually need to look at one day. If not, yeah, one day. We need to look at it, and look at it properly. And if not just one day, then at least a whole week, and how you actually want to go about orientating or properly setting up the week or the day, so that essentially we're taking the right steps, we're moving in the right direction to actually where you want to be, and this is good for, this is also another step that you need, so that we actually plan out and actually set up, and we actually go back to this, the priorities. What is actually going to be your main priority in that particular day? Or what are your main priorities in that day? It can be like 2 tasks or 1 task, but it all depends on that, your main focus of this particular day. Am I working? Am I doing a little bit of deep work for 2 straight hours on my business, or am I studying probably microcontrollers or math, during that period of time? Sorry, I'm an electronic student, so I know, like, next year one of the modules we'll be doing is like microcontrollers and what you call this thing, circuit design, and circuit design is kind of crappy. It's hard. Apparently it's like the father of electronics, so I know a lot of us will be buckling up and doing that. But the point is, you want to schedule your day. Basically, you want to look at your schedule, and this is another thing that's going to actually help you. Scheduling your day, preparing your day, and knowing exactly what your day looks like will help you, like, just go in a state of flow, and you won't have those days where you're like just dilly dally. Those days where you're just hanging around, lofting around. You know what I mean. And the fourth one are, what are your non-negotiables? What are your non-negotiables? What are you willing not to give up? It could be anything. And going back to number 3, what are your daily schedule? I'm going to teach you like this other thing as well. So later on, I'm going to teach you techniques like time blocking. This is something I use all the time. Time blocking. I'm also going to teach you how to use this method. It's splitting your priorities, your tasks. I'm going to call it task division. I'll get you the proper name for it. Task division. Sorry, my spelling. Division. Yeah. So that's one of the things. Right, and also highlight this. So far, what we've done is we looked at what commitments can make, and then your non-negotiables. Your non-negotiables can be going to church on a Sunday. You can't miss church. Understandable. So now you're gonna work your way around this. How can I fit all my tasks but still go to church? Or you need soccer training. You're probably a soccer player, but you joined the challenge because you actually wanted to focus and actually use this challenge to actually buckle down and become a better soccer player. And trust me, if you just take this challenge, or you go on a dopamine detox, or do self-improvement, you'll just become better in all areas of life. Right? Soccer training, and what else is there? Your non-negotiables. Like me, for example, you probably have work. I work as a waiter. I work as a waiter, part-time. So this December, one thing for sure, I know for sure, is that I'll be going in probably five to six times a week, or 5 to 6 days a week. So that's my non-negotiable. So I need to show up and do, or show up to work for 9 hours a day. So literally that's already, in 24 hours already, that's, I've missed my first 10 to 12 hours. I've already missed 10 to 12 hours. So I need to find a way on how to actually adjust and recoup around that, or rearrange my setup around that. All right, cool. And then the last thing, this one is also very important. The last thing is the outcome vision. So let's do this exercise. Let's just like close our eyes for a moment. I want you to do this. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe in, and then breathe out. Breathe in again. Keep your breath in, and then breathe out. And then make sure your eyes are closed. And then now think really hard. And not think really too hard. Relax in that moment. Like, like really try and visualize yourself. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you dressed in? What are you wearing? How do you walk? What do you look like? When you look at yourself in the mirror, what do you look like? When people see you, how do they react? How you talk? What do you sound like when you talk? How do you think? What don't you tolerate anymore? Those are the type of questions you need to ask yourself. What results do you want at the end of the day? What results do you want? What results do you want? And the envisionment part just comes in as it helps whereby you know now how to actually, or you know what you want. Also just comes back to 3 priorities. The 3 priorities, probably you want to work on your physique. Okay, after 90 days I want to have that Pepsi bottle body shape, for the ladies. You want to have that figure, so you also want to have that 6-pack abs. You want to have that back. I know that's what's trending. You want that back, that upper back, that nice upper back. So what are you gonna do? Obviously you're gonna go back to what are your weaknesses? Okay, look at my weaknesses. I need to look like I eat a lot, and then I use my phone when I laze around. I probably watch Netflix. Okay, cool. We're gonna cancel out Netflix. We're gonna cancel out your phone usage. You're gonna start eating healthy. All right, cool. And then we're gonna move on. What does my daily task look like? Okay, cool. I'm gonna start building a daily or a morning routine and a night routine whereby I'm probably training twice a day. In my morning routine, I'm probably doing push-ups, or I'm going out to the gym and working on my pull-ups, or working on a few exercises with the machine that will actually help me build my back. And then moving on here, what's my non-negotiables? Okay, I've decided to not eat junk food except for Sunday. Probably I let myself go on a Sunday. But I must make sure that I gain certain calories, or that I have to eat only on a Sunday, and then obviously 90 days you have that physique that you want. So as you can see, it rolls down and follows each other. All right, cool. But now I hope you can see why these questions are actually needed. This is why these questions are needed. These create a proper path that will actually lead you down, will make it easier for you to continue through the 90 days. or the first 30 days of this of the lock-in challenge. All right, cool. So now we're going to be doing the second part of this video. As video got kind of long, 22 minutes. I'm scared. I'm scared. Didn't want to make the video this long. Shit, and I know you guys don't like long content. I know you guys don't like long content. But yeah, let's get it done. So this is like the last part. So now how to actually get onto like that first part, the top 3 priorities, and actually get it down. Remember that the aspects I was talking to you about? So I call them the 5 pillars of life, or 5 pillars of yourself. You can even write down your name. So we're gonna go 5 pillars of yourself. I want to use myself as an example, so that you see this. So the 5 pillars are, firstly, I like this one. It's, by the way, you can use this next year when going in 2026, when you probably reach the first 6 months, or like June or something, when you want to reset, you can go back and start this again. You can start looking at it. So your academics would probably be it. If you want to work on your academics this lock-in, you can work on your academics, or it can be business, or it can be a high income skill. High income skill. So his basically stands for high income skill. You know, a lot of people that are studying the same course that you're doing. So when you're gonna go for a job interview, I know for sure it's probably they will ask, what's like the deciding fact for you? Like, what separates you from someone else, or from all these tens and millions of other individuals? You know, what's gonna separate you from them? Because essentially, bro, this game is cutthroat. There's a lot of competition. So literally, what's gonna separate you? Okay, yeah, sure, you're an engineer. Yeah, you have a degree now. Yeah, and they also have degrees. What's gonna separate you? Oh no, I'm hardworking, I'm adaptable, I can work under pressure. So can they. What else can you do? You know, what else can you do? I mean, I know for sure that the things that I can do, I can sell. I have a little bit of selling background, because I work as a waiter, and I've been in the industry for quite some time. But like I said, I'm working part-time right now, so I have to know how to sell food and drinks, and I need to make sure that bill. But we're not gonna go into that. So it's a skill that I've developed. That's part of me. I can talk, communication. I've worked with a team. I know what that work experience, that lifestyle, it's like. So working under pressure for me, that also as well, it builds communication between my client and myself in the business. You know, it has to be nice and clear. If food is gonna take long, or the drinks are taking long, I need to let them know, yo, look, ma'am, sir, it's a bit busy right now. It's crazy busy, and I know you can see it as well, but please, can you just give us 5 minutes? I know your drink is gonna be out just now. Just give us 5 minutes, and I'll make sure they whip it up real fast. All right? And I'll be like, oh, okay, cool, I understand. And you know, as long as you're clear, communication, you let them know. It's skill. That's one of the skills that I've picked up. All right. So, but then that's an example. Next pillar is your physique. This one is a big one for me. It's another big one of my favorites. Physique. This would be your body and how you like, your body to look, or your cardio, or whatever sport you play. So you probably want that V-shaped body, or you want to probably go and hit the gym, you want to probably build strength, whatever you want to do, or you probably want to start losing fat. This is your physique. This is where your physique comes in. Alright, moving on. Then we're gonna go into mentality. Your mentality. Principles that you'll follow. Also called philosophies. Right. An example of this would be probably you want to be more stoic. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. Or you want to control your emotions. You want to control your emotions. You want to react less and start thinking through your responses. You want to react less, respond more. That's what you want to do. And then probably for some of you want to learn some dark psychology. Please excuse my spelling. I'm pretty bad at this. I know my English is good, but my spelling is bad. Terrible, isn't it? Okay, cool. So now we're moving on to the next pillar. If you're also atheist, you can skip this one. Spirituality. Spirituality. How do I get closer to God? I'm Christian, so this one, one thing I definitely do, or that I did last year, or this year, was I set up prayer sessions once a week, and then I made sure it was Wednesdays, every Wednesday when I came back from school, and probably we didn't have extra classes at night. When they canceled our physics extra classes, I'd get here at 7 o'clock or around 7:30. Then I would have like a complete prayer session where I'd read the Bible. I'd have chat give me a random Bible verse, and then or a random Bible scripture, and I would read not the entire scripture, probably half the scripture, and then come back to it later on during the week. But then I would pray over it, taking that actually being what's actually being said in that script. Personally, I'm still trying to conflict on which between these 3 or these 4 that I want to work on, and then the 5th one is your lifestyle. Lifestyle. This could be your relationships. Another thing could be your health. The way you dress. Dress code, your style, your wardrobe. And that will essentially affect you, or your environment. But then your environment, essentially your friends, your friends make this relationship. Your relationships basically would be everyone that surrounds you, your girlfriend or boyfriend, your friends, your family, or giving them time, essentially that. But these are the 5 pillars that will dictate your priorities, and essentially, whichever one you choose would be what you're going to be focused on, your top 3 priorities. And for me, not gonna lie to you, these 3 have been, I've chosen 1, 2, and 3 in that particular order. And I have my personal reasons, and you will have your own, and that's why I said you will choose for yourself which ones you'd actually would like to, which ones you'd actually like to go on to. But yeah, this is essentially how we're gonna build the system. You choose one of these 3 to work on, and it can be anything. So if you want to start a business, if you're aiming to start a business, then you're gonna focus on the work and skills, right? You're gonna research, do whatever it takes to start the career. And then your second priority, probably you want to also probably build your physique at the same time. So you'd establish a morning routine or go to the gym more as well. Here you go. Working on that pillar. And then you fit that into your daily schedule. And then hardly you chose mentality in that order, and your third, last, and then you'll realize that, okay, cool, what can I do to actually to boost my mentality, right? That would be reading more, listening to more podcasts, watching more educational videos on a particular topic that I actually want to work on, like emotional control or dark psychology, those type of things. And then if it's not that, you can easily just like choose any of the others. Like you could probably work on spirituality and lifestyle. You probably want to work on more of your relationships, fix them. And if you're a loner, then go talk to girls, start talking to more girls. You know what I'm saying? And then spirituality, you probably want to get closer to your God or closer to your creator or closer to your religion, get more knowledge on that, stuff like that. So essentially, if you don't want to choose any of the 3 out of 5 of these pillars, then you can choose at least 2, but 3 is a maximum. So you can choose 1 of the pillars, 2 of the pillars, 3, but maximum it's 3. Maximum is 3, because I want you guys to literally, you can't really, I've trying to, hold everything together, but it failed. I failed. So I want you guys to at least work on 3 of these pillars. So that's about it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, just the story. Like, share, subscribe, and let me know which pillars that you are going to be working on as well. Just put it down in the comment section, and then and if you have any further queries, just put it down in the comment section, and then we can we can talk. And if you also want to join into the challenge as well, get the template, join the community. You can actually join us. I'll definitely put a link in the description as well, and put the template down in the description. But I feel like one thing I'm gonna do is probably you can only get the template if you join if you join the community. Better that way, if you join the community, I'll put you down in the description. But that's how it goes, and it's a WhatsApp group, so Joe's anyway. But anyway, be seeing you, bro. Good luck with God's grace.